Hello everyone and welcome to Harv's World for episode 12 of Ischia Farm. I'm just working on my olive grove here, making sure it's got some more manure, and God knows I've got plenty of manure building up, let me tell you. One might say that Harv is full of manure. Actually, there are many people who might say that. That's okay. Harv apparently cannot drive this little tiny tractor. Got too used to the Fent. Before we get too involved, let me just get this tractor backed around. See if I can get this trailer over to this. This olive tree is kind of difficult to get to. I would like to welcome a whole slew of new subscribers to the channel. My gosh, I've got a list today. Philly G-Man, B. Thomas, Cool Boys, Mr. Supreme, Mr. Pew Pew, Andy, FSU 3378, Bart Williams, Seminole Warhawks, I doubt it's the whole team, just a fan, I'm sure, Stephen H., The Lonely Farmer, Allison Sproul, Ron Anderson, Numanoid Jeff, Jared Douglas, and GTA 5 Gamer 352. Quite the list. Things are moving up. Had a big weekend on the channel. A lot of new subscribers. Can't thank you all enough, seriously. Just can't thank you enough for your support. Obviously, we do this for fun, but having people around who enjoy what we're doing makes a big difference, I have to admit. Come on, Harv. Get with the program. So, what's going on today? Well, to be honest, I need to check things out a little bit and find out what is going on today. Now, I've got harvesters in the field, I'll tell you. Harvesting up the white grapes. Actually, they should be done. I just need to go finish unloading them. I've got a ton of red grapes. Tons. Remember that red grape field that I bought because Mrs. Van Horn had her panties in a twist about she had to have red grapes and she had to have them yesterday? Well, as I suspected, us working on that field and preparing it properly really made a massive difference. We knew it was going to do that. But if you'll recall, our first harvest on that field was 86,000 liters. And yesterday's harvest on that field was 120,000 liters. So needless to say, yes, we have got a lot of red grapes. And no, I haven't sold them off yet. You know what? The Van Horns can just suck it up because they're not paying very well, and I'm not going to sell or deliver all those red grapes to them if they're not willing to pay a decent price. I could make a lot more off of them if I was actually working in a field and not trying to wind my way around in this stupid olive grove. Harv, what were you thinking rejuvenating these trees? Come on, buddy. Anyway, I've got 230,000 liters of red grapes sitting in the silo, waiting to be sold off. I can't believe that was not close enough to that tree. There it is. The triggers on these trees are very tight. But yeah, I've got 230,000 liters of red grapes off of our two red grape fields, and no, I'm not taking them over there. I'm not shipping all those up to the seller just to take $100 or more difference, lower price, from what the Van Horns are willing to pay. If they want to make red wine, they need to be able to pay for it. And I don't care if it's their grapes. I'm in charge down here. And if that's a problem for them, they can suck it up. Because Harv ain't playing. No. Yep, there's our grape harvesters up there sitting, just waiting for me to empty them out. And I'll tell you, I'm not too happy with that white grape field. And I'll tell you why here in just a little bit, but I'm not happy with it at all. In fact, I think we've learned a lot about planting grapes and all of that since that field went in. So some changes are going to happen, I think. Not only that, I've managed to pick up some work from the locals. Brought in a little bit of extra money, not very much, because I'm not selling off the additional crop. I'm keeping it to make pig food, which is still going to be cheaper than buying it. But I have got the pig food mixer working again. I think I picked up some soybeans and probably a little bit of canola somewhere. Or maybe it was sunflower seeds, because there was this field right here had sunflowers in it. I harvested the sunflowers here. So, and that reminds me of one other change that I had to make, and I'll tell you right up front. I had a mod conflict issue. It was very weird. It took me a while to sort it out. But do you remember those tanks, the IBC tanks of liquid fertilizer that I purchased? Well, I don't know exactly what happened there, but it was breaking all of my fill triggers. Like if I brought the fertilizer spreader under these tanks, it would no longer fill. So I sold back the IBC tanks and I installed this bad boy. So this is where we can get our liquid fertilizer from, and that will be our dry stuff as it has always been. And speaking of fertilizer, I've got the Fiat up here. This grape field needs a coat of fertilizer on it. And, well, let me just get that thing running. Get down there, empty out those grape harvesters, and then we'll talk about that white grape field and see what we can do with it. Now, I believe I have got a headland course already set, and this is field 41. Yeah, this will be 41 edge, actually. So if I load that course, and then, there we go. So what I have done is recorded a path all the way around the edge of this field and saved it as 41 edge, and I've loaded that. Now I can use the currently loaded course to tell my fertilizer spreader where to work. So we'll just give them 2 headland passes, generate the field course, and it takes all of that into account. So that's pretty slick. I like that. And I need to check one other setting because something else was off. For some reason, oh yeah, there was an offset set earlier that wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So I think we're okay now. Now we can have this guy get to work. Perfect. And if we look at our red grape field, it should be filling in quite nicely. Get that plowing off there. Yep, there we go. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. So, down here I should have the Deutz with my grape trailers. Get these grape harvesters emptied out. Yeah, so with the recession going on, obviously, work from the locals is going to become much, much, much more important. Simply because it's going to be harder to make money, and there's still $1.7 million to pay off. But I need to keep those pigs working for us, and we're at almost 200 now. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick at 200, and then anything beyond that is going to get sold. Anything beyond 200 gets sold off. So I know I originally said 150, and I really thought they would be reproducing much quicker than they are. Not that they are doing poorly by any stretch of the imagination, no. But not quite as fast as I originally anticipated. So I'm going to hold at 200. Lots of pigs to do their reproductive duties. And yeah, and then I'll start taking them over to the animal dealer and selling them off as they come. And that should give us a pretty solid income. And these grape harvesters just get wrecked. One field of harvest and they are absolutely trashed. Look at that thing. Grab the other one, get it out of that field. I love these things though. These are actually a pretty cool piece of machinery. I've enjoyed having the opportunity to work with them. And they were really well done. As I'm pretty sure I said in the past, you know, there were, oh gosh. I saw a video somewhere, it might have been Tantum Tech, where they were actually using these to harvest olives in real life. Oh, I left that other one running. That's the engine that was running. Okay. Now, it's time to take a look at this field. And I'll tell you. The white grape field is going away. Sayonara white grapes. Not permanently. But it's become, you know, it's really patchy over on this side. There's a lot of missing plants. And then it's all bunched up in certain areas. And it's just not the nice, neat, like, look at that weird bunching right there. Not quite the nice, neat, and nifty rows I would like to have. And I think what I'm going to do, because grape plants are permanent unless you decide to get rid of them, I'm going to move the grapes over to this quite lovely sunflower field. Isn't that beautiful? Just a sea of yellow and green. I love that. But yeah. And then there's permanent white grapes right next to the cellar. Mrs. Van Horn can keep her panties out of a twist. She doesn't have to worry about anything anymore. Maybe I'll plant some more sunflowers. I don't know. But no more phone calls from Mrs. Van Horn, at least not on that topic. And I should set a course for this, shouldn't I? I want to see the lines this time. Set A. Set B. There we go. Okay, well, I can almost absolutely positively, without a doubt, assure you that this field is going to take a long time to plow out. I wouldn't be surprised to see these sunflowers be ready sometime today by the time I get this field completed. So, with that said, sit back, listen to some music, and enjoy the ride. See you in a minute. Well, I missed just a little bit of an edge when I started on this side of the field, so I just bopped back over here to finish it up. Just to make sure everything is on the level. Ish. Sort of. Whatever. But there we go. Grapes be gone. For now. They'll be back. They shall return. Which means a whole bunch more. Good thing I didn't sell those grape planters. At one point I said, I don't think we're going to need them anymore. I really don't plan on planting any more grapes. And lo and behold, there I go. Wiping out the white grapes. I bet you didn't see that coming, did you? Yeah, we'll just park that up here for right now. Go grab the Fiat, which finished fertilizing field 41. Yep. So the red grapes are in great shape. And we're going to have no shortage of red grapes, that's for sure. White grapes? Well, there you have it. It looks naked after all those white grapes. It's just incredibly bare, but we are going to get a new crop in this field. Like I said, I'm going to move those white grapes to field 27, and they'll be right by the cellar. And nobody has any reason to complain. But right now, what I really want to do is empty this thing. If I can find room to empty it, because, well, this barnyard is a little bit fickle when it comes to such things. See what I mean? I've got a wide open barnyard, and yet there's no space to unload. There we go. And I really don't want to keep using the Fiat, since I've got other tractors that will do the job in a much more timely manner. Relatively speaking. Namely, the Deutz-Fahr. So we'll get these grape trailers put away. Ish. I mean, we just park them outside. I may have said this before, but I've never ever understood why people insist on parking trailers indoors. Like, I've never seen that happen anywhere. Small trailers maybe, but that's a very distinct maybe. And I have pulled a lot of trailers in my day, let me tell you. A lot of trailers. Load up with a big batch of lime, because this is a big field. And as you can see, it's kind of weird. Like, where all those grapes were planted now needs limed, but yeah, I mean, we've done 3 harvests, so it would need lime, wouldn't it? That makes complete sense. But they're very, very specific, like where those were planted. It's not like planting a crop. I think I'm going to try. I'm not going to go the whole 9 yards on the lime and fill up completely, because I don't want a whole bunch left over that I have to store. But fertilizer also has become outrageously expensive. Just crazy expensive. And so I think I'm going to need to do something about that. And I bet you can guess what that just might be. Maybe. We'll see. And yes, that's what I want to do. This 85-foot spread. I want to see my lines for now. Set A. that be? That'll work. Oh, that's way off. I'm gonna end up missing that left corner completely. Oh well, we can come back. No harm, no foul. And that takes care of the lime, thank goodness. I don't know why. I find liming very tedious. It's one of my least favorite things to do. And I tried to anticipate, and then I still ended up with a whole bucket load of lime that I'm going to have to find a way to store, which I think I have a solution to. And I hope that this will unload all that lime right about here. That would be a negative, Ghost Rider. Apparently, the farmyard is full. Back here, maybe? If I could get it to back up straight. This is the curse of the Harv. He gets in a hurry and then mucks things up like... Oh, there we go. Alright. That could have been far worse. And could have been far better. Alright. I'm going to go grab the telehandler. Yeah, we could stand to check on our pigs a little bit anyway. Clean up after them. Cleaning up after livestock is like a never-ending job. They are the messiest, sloppy... Oh. Anyway, yeah, they are the sloppiest, messiest, filthiest creatures. They just cannot keep that food in their mouths. In fact, I think I'm just going to leave this bucket right here. And I need to grab the pallet handler. Luckily, this is a pretty quick telehandler, 26 miles per hour. Will not take long at all. But I realized, as I was liming that field, that I have something at my disposal that will make storing these away nice and simple like. Also known as a multi-fruit silo. Just park this up over here for the moment. Get stuck in the wall. There we go. Good God. Okay. Now. Alright, the fertilizer's cleaned up. Can't complain about that. Which would be just ridiculous. Ah, yes, there are times when Harv can't drive, can't speak, can barely keep his head on straight. But one thing Harv knows at the moment, I need to save money on fertilizer. Because filling this thing up, that's about 10 grand right there right now. Since the recession, it's a lot of money. And let's take a look at our pigs, shall we? Look at this. Almost 60,000 liters of slurry. I should be using that, right? But the question is, can I get a piece of equipment with the money that I have to allow me to do that? Well, I'll tell you. There is a great Italian manufacturer, Valzelli. You may recognize this name from the trailer that we own. And recently, the store started carrying new or used equipment. And so I'm kind of thinking, this is 18,000 liters. That's not too bad. We got to get that color changed, however. You know we have to have the right colors on Harv's farm. It's absolutely necessary. But if I buy this used, I'm going to save $7,000, and I'm going to get this for less than $30,000. So I think that is going to be a big purchase. Now, one thing that I did want to look at here, it's got different spreading capacities, so 15 meters, and I don't want to do those, but it's got this wand here that will go 35 meters, and if I go with both, it'll go 42. So that's going to cover a lot of field in a short amount of time. Still, less than $30,000, even adding the additions. So I'm going for it. I'm absolutely going for that. And I just happen to have a field. That's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I just happen to have a field that I can try this out on right away. And the Deutz will handle it easily, so we're going to run the Deutz down to the shop, pick up this brand new slurry spreader, and find out exactly what it's going to do for us. I will check back with you in just a minute. Alright, here we are. One slurry spreader in tow, and it looks pretty darn beat up. So what I want to do is get it over here to the shop, check it out, make sure it all works just the way it's supposed to, and I will deal with these harvesters later. Right now I've got bigger fish to fry. Saving money by spending money. It kind of seems a little counterintuitive when you think about it, but it does make a certain amount of sense. So let's see how just bad a shape this is. Oh, that's in horrible condition. Look at that. It's a good thing I checked. So if I want to repair it, but still, less than $300 to get that back into peak working condition. That was the bargain of a century. Because I saved 7 grand over the new version. Had to work on it, about $300 worth. Still, I'll take it. Absolutely take it and be very, very happy. Now let's go see what it'll do on our field. I gotta go get some slurry in there. Some liquid pig poo. Oh, come on, that's what it is. Don't roll your eyes. Okay, roll your eyes. I would have. Anyway, let's see about... Nope, there's that pig food mixer going empty again. Okay, let's get this bad boy filled up. While I'm here, I might as well give the pigs some water. I'm sure they could use a little bit. There we go. Still got that leak. Now I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going to end up running back down here to fill this thing quite frequently. But we're going to find out. We are are going to find out for sure. And this will do 42 meters at a time. If that's the case, yeah, I think it's going to empty quick. But you know, even if I've only got enough slurry to cover half the field, I mean, that's still half a field's worth of fertilizer that I just saved because my pigs are producing for me. So that is absolutely extraordinary. It's not only will I get money for selling my pigs when I have pigs to sell, I will get money or save money by having them to create fertilizer for me. So let's see. I think I'm going to try to set up some GPS just to make this go as far as humanly possible. Yep, we'll do that. And we'll set our A. Try to get straight down the pipe this time. Set B. That looks pretty good. Woo! That launches. Look at that. Alright. Wow. That's impressive. Oh, I see what it's doing. So it's only taking where there were grapes planted. Still. Still going to do what I needed to do. That is some serious slurry launching right there. But I have a sneaking suspicion I'm doing something wrong here. Let's take a look. And that's just going to be the pipe, apparently. Oh, I see. So it looks to me like, unless I'm mistaken, I need to have this thing turned either left or right. That's what I was doing wrong. So if I start down the field now, this is going to launch. There we go. That's more like it. That's what I was doing wrong. Wow. That is some serious coverage right there. I wish I'd had my proverbial... yeah. You know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. But, man, look at that. That is some serious coverage. And that's going to require some fiddling with GPS that I am not prepared to do right now. So... if I were to come around down here, we're just going to shut GPS off. Oops. Off. So if I come down here to this end... oh, the sprayer is already set. Okay, good. So now if I turn this on... yeah, and it's going to launch out there. I did not expect this. I've never used this thing before, so that's impressive. That is truly impressive. And you know, if I ever get really mad at somebody, I could just go park in front of their house. I could park halfway down the block and really douse them like crazy. tell you though, you're not going to go anywhere fast with this thing. And it would be kind of nice if you could turn that rooster tail sprayer off too. Stop that. So you could just, you know, do small sections from the tail end instead of having to launch everything. But I don't see any shut off for that specifically. That's alright. That's alright. I mean, I guess I could, you know, take it to the shop and just have that turned off, you know, customize it. Hey, I don't care. This is pretty slick. I like it. I like it a lot. Our pigs aren't producing enough poop to do multiple passes on a field. You know, every once in a while we'll be able to pull this out and use up that slurry, so maybe I should look and see if there's somewhere else to procure that. Or other ways to procure it. And this has the added bonus that with a little bit of luck and the wind blowing in just the right direction, Mrs. Van Horn will have a very lovely aroma as she spends her afternoon sipping cocktails or tea or whatever it is Mrs. Van Horn does. Well, I guess we'll just use this up running right up this side here. Man, you will reach out and touch someone with that nozzle. Well, that's going to do it. So, regular fertilizer it is for the last little bits here. Still, I have no complaints. That was well worth the money. Well worth the money. Need to get that thing cleaned up and put away, so we'll leave it out in the yard. Grab our fertilizer spreader. Yeah, now that I think about it, well, no. Maybe going the manure route was the better idea, but I think we need to go the route of using both. I just see more flexibility in the manure in the future. But hey, that's okay. We got that slurry spreader for a steal, so I can't complain about that. And the slurry does need to be used. And one other nice thing about this, I have to say, is that once slurry or manure has been put down, I could just go right back over this with chemical fertilizer. See how it's taking it over that slurry? You can almost see that. But I don't want to do that over everything because both my seeder and my planter have fertilizer in them and I can just use that. So, but hey, no problem. That field is completely done, completely fertilized, ready to go. And with that said, let's see. What crops? Is there anything that we haven't done that we should probably give a try? I think we've done just about everything. Protein peas. I mean, I've got soybeans. They're not that much different, so I'm not going to worry about those. We haven't done any corn. Corn might be a good choice. A lot of corn gets grown in Italy. Yeah, corn. I think that's where we're headed. I have the big new header anyway for the sunflower, so corn is going to be where it's at. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of Ischia Farm. Got a lot done. We got those white grapes out of there. Oh, nope. And I still have the 230,000 liters of red grapes. Now I've got almost 17,000 liters of white grapes to sell off. The seller's the top price on the white grapes, but I think they can do better than that. So I'm hanging on until I get a phone call saying, where the hell are our grapes? I am going to just hang on to them. So we do have technically money in the bank. It just so happens that the silo is our bank. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of Ischia Farm. I really appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.